The UFC updates.
Hi fight fans, here we are again with another preview for a fantastic pay-per-view card. This time I'll be looking at the welterweight matchup between fan favourites Robbie Lawler and Donald Cerrone. Taking place this coming Saturday at the Honda Center in Anaheim, California, UFC 214 will have 3 title fights, the most notable being a rematch between Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier for the light heavyweight belt. So looking at the former champion Lawler, we can see he's had almost a year away from fighting after suffering a knockout loss to Tyron Woodley. Let's look at the first thing he should take into account in this fight. Target Cerrone's body. It's no secret that Donald Cerrone's Achilles heel is body shots. Have a look at both former lightweight champs Anthony Pettis and Rafael dos Anjos hurting Cowboy badly with body strikes. Given Lawler is a southpaw, this knee and body kick should be his money shots against Cerrone. We know that he's often a headhunter, with over 75% of his strikes targeting his opponent's head, but Lawler should aim to mix up his strikes in this fight, and not just try to take Cowboy's head off. Be aggressive. With a nickname like Ruthless, it's no surprise that a common characteristic of Lawler's game is his relentless forward pressure. He often overwhelms his opponents, with strikes coming from all angles, from flying knees to hard body kicks. But failing to employ this forward pressure against T-Wood meant Lawler was a sitting duck, and it was only a matter of time before Woodley felt comfortable to unleash his trademark overhand right. It's safe to say we won't see much grappling in this fight, as neither Lawler or Cowboy are known for their consistent takedowns. Both have exciting, but different styles of stand-up. Lawler should aim to push the pace early on, something that the likes of Pettis and dos Anjos found success in when facing Cerrone. Donald Cerrone is a fighter who, if he had his own way, would be fighting every month. Cowboy has been on the sidelines since being placed in timeout by UFC President Dana White, due to his devastating knockout loss to Jorge Masvidal in January. Prior to this, Cerrone went 4-0 since moving from lightweight to welterweight. Let's look at the first thing he should take into account in this fight. Head movement. Before we go any further, let's listen to Cerrone's head coach, Greg Jackson's corner advice in his last fight.
You have to move your head. What am I telling you to do? What are you going to do? We are not losing in Denver. You are not losing today. You get out there and you move your head.
That advice took place just after Cerrone was hurt badly by Masvidal. But why was that? Because he didn't move his head. It's something which Cerrone has a bad habit of doing. It showed most clearly a few years back in his fight against Nate Diaz. It almost at times looked like he was blocking punches with his face. Cerrone has to effectively move his head when facing Lawler. The opponent has devastating power in his fists and kicks, and if Cerrone doesn't move his head, he'll definitely be able to feel it. Emulate his performance versus Matt Brown. I previously mentioned that both men aren't known for their takedown attempts, but Cerrone should at least threaten it against Lawler to not be predictable in his paths. Cerrone mixed up his attacks against Brown very well, often level changing under his strikes to shoot into the clinch. Doing this against Lawler will keep him guessing to what is coming from Cerrone, and it will help Cowboy eliminate some of his opponent's forward pressure. Of course, we can't forget about what Cowboy does best, his kicks. Watch on these 2 clips against Adriano Martins and Matt Brown, as Cerrone likes to use his jabs and straights to mask his high kicks. If I had to make a prediction on this fight, it would be Robbie Lawler to win by 3rd round TKO, perhaps via a knee and some follow-up punches, like his win over Jake Ellenberger. I think this fight will live up to its high expectations and could very well be fight of the night. If you fancy a bet on my prediction, just £3 could return almost £40, so it's definitely worth the gamble knowing how good Lawler is in the final round.
Thanks for watching the UFC updates. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share.